Hey everybody, I'm Laura Lynn from Vitafam. I thought I would update our curriculum picks for the year. We've made a few different decisions. If you're not a regular reader, we have a daughter having pretty major surgery this year, so our whole lives are going to be a little different. Going to revolve around going to physical therapy several times a week and taking care of her. So for that reason, we've done some things differently, and I thought it would be fun to show you what we've chosen, and I'll put links down at the bottom. I don't really know for sure that all this stuff is 100% great. I'm not ready to write big reviews yet, so that's sort of why I thought a video would be fun, and plus it was faster. Just put on some lipstick and hit record, so we'll see how it goes. To start out with, most important for us, of course, is Bible. We actually do it during family worship time at night before the kids go to bed, so this is the last thing we do in our day. But we're using God's Great Covenant by Classical Academic Press. And we're actually on the second book now, Old Testament 2. I buy the teacher's edition, and my husband sits and reads it to the kids, and it's got all the questions and, of course, the answers and extra notes, so he can skim it and talk about it as he gets inspired. And we're really enjoying it. It's good for our older kids. It's a great refresher, a new twist on the stories, different perspective. And then our younger kids are hearing some of these stories for the first time. And we think it's really a nice balance of easy to understand, but also inspires a lot of good conversation for our older kids. So if you've got kind of a varying ages, this is a pretty good book to use for Bible or family worship. I'm going to throw those off to the side. So when we start our school day, we try and start with Convo, which is where I stick all the stuff that I want to teach and are really important, and I've learned to just stick it at the beginning of the day. We start with things like Shakespeare and music appreciation. So we're doing How to Teach Your Children Shakespeare by Ken Ludwig. I have written about this book. Can't recommend it highly enough. And then this year we're also trying something, again, to make life a little simpler for me as the teacher. We're using Squilt for music history and appreciation. It comes in a PDF. I printed out all the notebooks for the kids, and they just open it up and we listen to the YouTube links that are provided in the PDF. There's no prep work for me, and we have some pretty good conversations, and then we close it up and move on. It takes a lot of the pressure off. Phonics, of course, is one of the most important things going on at my house, and we are still very loyal to All About Reading and All About Spelling. I've now successfully taught 2 dyslexic children to read with All About Reading, so I know it works for just about any kid. I do recommend, if you can, start early with the pre-reading program. It really preps them and makes the whole thing seamless. Very successful with this with all of my kids. We're down to the last 1 or 2 readers that we have, and Mira is taking off, so love it. I will say, though, that because they learned to read with what was originally a spelling program, I'm not finding much success with using it for spelling. We do have All About Spelling as well, and I liked it with my first 2 kids, but they're still not great spellers. And we're all a little tired of looking at the same stories and things for reading, and then to do it for spelling, it was just too much. So we are trying Spelling UC this year. It's workbook based, which is something that I need. It doesn't involve lists and me giving them lots of tests. It centers around copywork and dictation, which as a Brave Writer instructor is near and dear to my heart. But this is good because it baby steps us into copywork and dictation. It builds the skills as the kids go along. So they're learning to pay attention to vowel chunks and pieces of words that are difficult or tricky, and then they copy them over and over again all week, and then at the end of the week they take dictation. Well, this is straight in line with Brave Writer philosophy of copywork and dictation. So I feel like this is good training for writing and spelling, and reading as well. We read together and talk about the words. So this has lots of little colored pencils that come with it, and the kids, they have to color something every day and then copy it. We're only a few weeks in, but I'm happy so far. I'll let you know at the end of it. So in addition, we've also changed our math. I gave up my precious Math UC, and we have moved on to Singapore Primary Mathematics, the U.S. edition, not Common Core aligned. This was after we had some of the kids tested and learned about some learning challenges, and just felt like as we got further into the Math UC program, it just wasn't working as well. There wasn't enough for what my kids needed. So we tried Singapore for half of last year, and we're pretty happy with it, and the kids seem to like it. So that's what our 1st through our 6th graders are using. I am still using Math UC Primer for my kindergartner. I feel like it just, well, I know it. I know it works. It gives a great broad overview, and I love the math blocks. My first grader pulls out her math blocks to do her Singapore math, even though that doesn't really involve blocks anymore. So I've not really tried the Singapore kindergarten. It was just more this was what I knew and what was easy. But I still think it's a really good program. So I like starting in with this. Then we can always go back to the blocks if we need to later. For Latin, my third, and my fourth grader, we've worked our way through Song School Latin Book 1, and now we're in Book 2. We're moving pretty slow through it. I'm not in any hurry. I'm just giving them introductions to the vocabulary, but I want to make sure that they actually learn it. So I'm not rushing us through it all. We play a lot with the cards that come with it and the vocabulary, and then they do a lot of the online games as well. My older boys are finishing up Latin for Children A, and then we're going to actually put them in the Latin for Children B online program. And again, this is for ease of use for me. It would probably not be my preference. I like to sit and talk about the conjugations with them because I'm a nerd. But for this year, we're going to give it a try. So as soon as I can get them to finish this book, then we will move on, and I will let you know how that goes. I do teach Brave Writer online classes, and I also teach for our co-op here. So my kids get the advantage of, I'm their writing teacher at co-op as well. And of course, we do as much writing at home as we possibly can. Partly because of I wanted to expand their thinking, and partly because this was a good year to try it. We've added the Classical Academic Press Writing and Rhetoric, mostly because it's giving me a chance to sit and talk to my kids about the parts of a story, which this is all done for me. I needed everything done for me this year, no planning. And so this is giving me a chance to still challenge my kids to write at home in addition to our co-op work, but it doesn't involve much thinking, and it's pretty much right along with how Brave Writer does things, and then I take what I know and change it up. But I am liking it. I'm using it for Adam and Ellen are doing Fables, and Sam and Ian are doing Book 3, whatever that is. Finally, the biggest change that we made. I am a Master Teacher certified for Tapestry of Grace, but we're not actually technically using it this year. What I have done is I have taken all my Tapestry books and all my notes, and I've combined it with the Veritas Press online. And this is basically taking all of the prep work off for me. I've already set it up so that the books are available to the kids to coincide with what they want to use. I bought them a few more just for fun, and they're doing all their testing and they're learning online, but I still sit down with them once a week and talk to them about what they're learning. So I get to use my Tapestry training and my notes and my books, but technically they're learning through Veritas Press this year. It was a compromise. It was painful for me, but it is absolutely the best decision for us this year because it does free up my time. Tapestry didn't take too much time to plan, but it was always there. It was always hanging over my shoulders. So for this year, my focus needs to be on Mira and getting her where she needs to be and getting her healed and walking and running around. So that's what we're going to do. I will let you know how all of these work out for us this year. It is a big change. I'm going to put all the links down below, and if I've already reviewed these products, either on my blog or somewhere else, I'll include a link there. And thanks for watching. If you want to tell me what you're up to, definitely leave a response video or leave me a comment or something, and we'll swap notes. And tell me if you've got any experience with some of these new things. I'd love to hear. Thanks. Bye.